Hi there. Welcome to Conversations Amongst Friends, Life, Health, the Universe and Everything. I'm Hazel Addley and I am here with my co-host Ceza Ouzounian and our amazing guest Jo Trewartha. So what are we here for? What's this all about? Conversations Amongst Friends. This is a podcast to share with you the sorts of conversations that we have as friends. And we notice that we nerd out a lot and we go off on topics and then kind of think, wish I'd recorded that because there's some real gold in there that we think other people might want to hear. So that's what we're doing. This is podcast number 4. So if you haven't seen the others, do check them out. So I'm Hazel Addley. I am the founder of the Live Powerfully, Love Life movement. I coach predominantly business women who are ready to up-level their businesses and who recognize that the way to do this is to do the work from the inside out, the inner game, the mindset, energy, get all that working really, really well, so that then what's happening in their outer work and their business world is going to flow and be so much more powerful. So that's me. Ceza, over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Ceza Ouzounian and I'm a fitness and energy coach. And the way I work with mainly women, but men as well, is about helping them work through difficult situations. So then maybe they've got to a crossroads and they don't know how to continue with their life. They don't know which path to take. And I'm here to help them work on the inner stuff, so what's going on inside their energy, and at the same time on the outer stuff with their body and physical fitness. And yeah, getting them into a great place so they can enjoy a life that they desire and love.
Amazing. And we've got with us, I'm so pleased to have our special guest today, who is someone that I have admired and loved for a couple of years now, and that is our friend Jo Trewartha. Hi Jo.
Hi both.
Would you like to share just a little bit about you on anything? It doesn't have to be work, it can be anything.
Okay, whilst you two have spoken about work, I'll do the same. So like both of you, I have been a coach and I've worked in coaching. I've slightly diversified this year. I'm now working mostly in my community with groups of people and working with groups of people with long-term health conditions, so empowering them. And this has sort of come out of my own experience of living with a chronic illness. So it's about self-managing their long-term health conditions and getting them back on track and living the life they want. So it's still coaching, but in a group setting that I'm doing mostly at the moment, and I'm really enjoying that.
Wow. Jo, you, every time I'm with you, I'm just always like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. I'm going to geek out on you now. Sounds like amazing work, really, really powerful work. And I know we're not really going to focus on that today. I'm sure it's another point we can bring you on and we can have a conversation about the health kind of work that you do and the work. I think that'd be really interesting. But our topic for today is style and fashion.
Yes.
I laughed a little bit because Ceza and I were talking earlier, like, I know nothing about style and fashion, but actually it's quite a fun topic to talk about, right?
Well, it's Friday afternoon, isn't it? So let's lighten up. I know people will be listening to this maybe any time of the day or any day of the week, but it's Friday when it's been recorded. So I thought let's have some fun.
Yeah, and I've been on a journey with my feminine energy lately, and I hear myself say that, and I'm like, I can't quite believe that's me saying that out loud. A couple of years ago, I would have been like, what the hell are you talking about? But I have been on a journey with my feminine energy. And so this topic is just playing right into that, which feels really good for me.
Perfect.
So, Jo, did you have somewhere that you wanted to start? Was there something that you was like, yeah, this is a good starting point for this discussion?
Okay, so this sort of came about, as I said, it's as we're recording this now, although people will be watching at different times, it's Friday afternoon, and obviously you guys approached me thinking that health would be perfect. Why is that? You know, I really am passionate about health. It is nice to go off on a tangent and do something a bit different sometimes. So I don't know anything about health and fashion and style either, really. But I'm 44 and I've started thinking, oh my goodness, where's a good place to shop? I'm starting feeling really conscious about what I look like in things that I buy. Is it stylish or do I look frumpy? That kind of thing. So, and then I saw, got treated to something that you guys had previously recorded, and I thought, wow, you two look amazing. So that was the inspiration for this, putting those two things together, in that I'm a bit lost at the moment in what looks good on me at my age, and then seeing you two who are slightly younger than me looking absolutely wonderful. So I thought it'd just be a bit of fun. So I've got some questions. They're sort of quite light-hearted. So should we just run and then see what happens?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just do this thing.
Okay, so you can answer quickly if you want to, just with yes, no, or the answer, or you can elaborate.
Are we going to be style grilled?
Ooh.
That's what it's like ready, like.
Okay. Do you want to go for like fast paced, like truth or dare?
Ooh.
Maybe let's keep it slightly safer.
Okay.
But I don't know. I like the playfulness.
Shall we see how you feel as you go along, and then obviously the answers that will come will just reflect how it's meant to go. So would you prefer to buy second-hand vintage clothing or new designer clothing?
New designer for me.
Yeah, probably me too.
Yeah. So my reasoning is that I don't like the feel of second-hand clothing, like energetically. I don't know if I can actually. I just feel a bit like. Bleh.
Because you don't know the life of the person who was wearing it. Maybe they were, not necessarily in a good place when they were wearing the outfit, perhaps.
Yeah, and I like the idea of something that's newly created, like that's a fresh creation.
For me, I'm just not that into old fashions. But then I'm just thinking some of the newer stuff out right now I don't like. But I'll probably go for the newer designer one rather than,
Great. Okay. Short skirt or long skirt?
Short skirt.
Oh, both of you short skirts. It'd be long.
Oh yeah, got to get the legs out.
Yeah.
Ceza, I believe, if I've seen correctly on Facebook, Ceza is known for her legs.
Well, I think my legs are quite nice actually.
Pilates pays off.
I don't know if I'm known for it, but
I'm sure I'm still on one of your on your personal Facebook wall, like a friend did a comment one time when you had a date night photo or something, or
from uni, my clubbing days. Yeah, yeah, I got my legs out a lot.
Well, if you've got it, flaunt it, they say, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Joe? Like, would you have short?
Yeah, if I had really glamorous legs, I would go for short, but I'm sort of like at knee length because I feel more comfortable in that sort of length.
Yeah, I used to be knee length, and then they got shorter.
Okay, so should we have another one? Right, okay. So, are you happy to be seen in public without makeup?
Yeah, I'm always without makeup.
I wear makeup most days. I used to never ever, from a teenager onwards, would never not have eyeliner on in the house in front of my boyfriend, my old boyfriend, or outside. I would never not have eye makeup. But now I quite like how I look with no makeup. But also my sister gave me a load of, my younger sister is really into makeup big time. And she gave me a load of eyeshadow palettes that she didn't want. So I'm like playing with a different color every day, and kind of putting it on in the dark and kind of not really knowing what I'm doing, but having fun playing at the same time.
Nice.
I mostly don't have makeup on. I only put it on if I have to look okay. I have to look better. So like if there's like a work event, or if I'm doing a talk, or I've got a bit of eyeliner, mascara on right now, but generally I don't. I can't be bothered. Like I had really bad acne until I was like 31, from the age of 11, and it never bothered me, and I don't care. Like I'm happy with my spots and everything. So.
Oh yeah, I get that because I've got like eczema kind of discoloring now in a few places, and it kind of does bother me in that I notice it, but nobody else seems to notice it. And I don't wear like foundation or any of that stuff because that just seems like putting a straitjacket on my face. It feels weird and unnatural. Although I did go to a black tie event last month before, I was nominated, shortlisted for a Kent Women in Business Award for innovation, and which was very cool. So I got to do the whole dress up. I got someone to do my hair and makeup, and every time I looked in the mirror, I was like, in the dark, I was like, oh, that's nice, and then in the light, I was like, drag queen.
Oh, no. But you did look really good.
Thank you. It just looked alien to me because it was really exaggerated eyes. Yeah. And I mean, I loved it at the same time, but it was just like, ooh, like, because the way my bone structure is, I was like, ooh, it's just like, yeah, it's strong.
Yeah. But then sometimes when I put on a lot of makeup, let's say I'm going to an event or there's like a party or something, because I do like to dress up occasionally, and that includes putting on makeup. And I feel like, oh my God, I've got so much makeup on. But compared to most people, it's not a lot and no one even notices it. It's just me like, oh my God, I got loads of makeup on, I'm dressed up. But no one else.
So you're not like contoured and completely like...
I don't even know how to do contour. If I put on foundation, that's like a big deal.
What about you, Jo? What about you with makeup? Where do you stand?
I'm a bit sort of mixed again. Sometimes I like to wear it because it gives me confidence, but sometimes I think there's a confidence in not wearing it as well, in having the confidence not to wear it. And then I think, if I don't wear it, do I look like to others like I don't care? Yeah. So it depends where you are, really, doesn't it? I mean, when I worked at secondary mainstream, I wore makeup every day. And then when I went to special school, I got into the habit of not wearing it. So that was interesting. It was the difference in the environment sort of affected whether I chose to wear it or not. But I sort of agree. Sometimes I feel like I put it on, like your straight jacket comment or drag queen. Do I look worse with it on than without it on?
Well, I'm in Glasgow, and lately I've been walking around and there's so many girls who are like orange because they put like a darker foundation on. They look like Oompa Loompas. It's really bad. And I'm like, why are they like wearing, like they want to make themselves look darker, but it's like orange, and it makes me think like, part of me is like, how insecure are they that they're putting all this makeup on and no one is telling them they look terrible?
Do you know what I think happens, and I could be wrong, is that it's the makeup they had at the peak of summer that they just use all year round.
Possibly, yeah.
My skin changed colour a lot in the sun. No, actually, I don't go much more than pale, but my face seems to go sort of dirtier colour. It's so attractive. It sort of goes darker, and my neck stays really pale, and I'm just like, I really hate it. And I'm like, if you're going to buy foundation at that time of year, you're probably going to get a darker one. So maybe they're not brought winter
I think you're
version.
right. I think it's very easy to stick to one brand and one product, sort of with foundation. I know I've bought the same one for many years, so I don't think about that. But you're absolutely right. Your skin does change throughout the year.
Maybe it is that. I don't know. I've noticed it a lot lately, and I'm like, whoa.
I really want to see like a hashtag like Glaswegian Oompa Loompas, and like see the pictures of these women now.
London that goes around bitching about all the Glaswegian girls.
So yeah, Ceza, something for you to do on your Instagram.
They're not all like that. It's just there's a lot. Anyone who's from Glasgow listening, you're not.
I hope not, but you know, you get people that do the foundation thing everywhere, and often I think it's an amateur thing. It's people who don't know what they're doing and don't take the time to look properly, so they get that line under the chin.
Yes. Oh, and then it can get onto your clothes, and it's a mess.
Unfortunate.
Okay. Should we have another one?
Yeah.
Okay. Fashion mistake or fashion item from childhood or when you were a teenager that now makes you cringe?
I mean, I think I was pretty stylish as a child, but they're all cringing. I think of some.
So I used to be, when I was a teenager, I used to be really quite exotic in how I dress, in the sense that I was like, not a goth, but I wore lots of band t-shirts and lots of black, but the bottom half was as bright as I could get it. So like big, long, down to the floor tie-dyed skirts, tie-dyed trousers, these striped trousers that look like kind of clown pantaloons. And I thought I looked so cool with this big giant t-shirts that were like extra large on someone who was like tiny. And then these big big colourful bottomed. Like, I don't think I have any photos from that era.
It's a shame.
I had low sense of, like, body image was really low. My self-worth was low, so I was almost hiding in these clothes, these tents. And I think I only threw them out last year. I had them in storage for years.
Wow.
So I, as much as I loved them, I could not wear them now.
I'm just thinking, what do I have? Or what did I have that was really like embarrassing? I don't know. I'm sure I found some clothes, but I can't remember what they are.
Maybe you've always been stylish.
Yeah.
Well, if I have been, that's completely like by accident.
Yeah, you've always had good taste, Ceza.
Yeah.
But what about you, Jo?
Well, I remember leg warmers and fingerless gloves were really big when I was young. And some of the leg warmers, I mean, I know they're fairly cool, maybe still for people who are into dancing and gym type things, but they were at the time woolen, and some of them had some very random sort of designs on. I don't think I'd wear them today with anything. So that wasn't great, the leg warmer craze. And the fingerless gloves are more of a fashion item because if your fingers are cold, the tips are usually the coldest anyway.
Yeah, I never got that. Was there a logical reason for the fingerless bit, or was it just?
No, they were quite often fluorescent, the fingerless gloves as well.
Because for an EAM event, my last one as a mentor to a group, we had a Christmas do where, I don't know if you were there, Jo, I can't remember now who was there, but we dressed up as 80s gear, and I got some fingerless sort of lace gloves, and I actually really liked wearing them.
Yeah,
I've still got them.
They're quite Madonna-ish, maybe. Madonna in 1985 would wear.
Yeah, I dressed up as Madonna. Like,
perfect.
like Madonna, but I dressed up like Madonna.
I've got a question about Madonna later. So.
And actually, I think some of the 80s fashion is really cool. I really like 80s fashion. So,
well,
no, actually, sorry, quick retraction. I don't like 80s fashion. I like Madonna's rocky 80s fashion. I'm going to quickly make that really clear because the big shoulder pads and bright colour things.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure I had something with shoulder pads and like frills when I was a child. Maybe
So, as you mentioned, Madonna, let's go for the Madonna question, right? You're going to a fancy dress party, which is musically themed, okay? You've only got a choice of 2 outfits, okay? So one is Geri Halliwell's Union Jack dress that she wore at the Brits, and the other is Madonna when she wore the black sort of Basque type outfit with the gold tassels across the boob area, across the nipples. Which of the 2 outfits do you go for to the party? Do you wear for the outfit? Which outfit is for you for the party?
So with the Madonna
Both
one,
iconic.
Are you meaning like the Vogue kind of era, or was it earlier?
Slightly before that, I was thinking, but it was a similar look, wasn't it? The one I was thinking was more around when she was doing Open Your Heart.
Okay, so I would probably go for Geri Halliwell because I've done a Madonna outfit.
Right, okay, so that would be boring to do it again.
And
Been there, done that.
I just think it was quite fun to wear that tiny little dress.
Yeah.
And the boots.
Yeah, the boots were quite chunky, weren't they, with big heels, sort of platformy type things I think she wore.
Yeah, I think that would be quite good fun. I actually quite like that idea.
I think I might go for the Madonna one. Yeah, I like the sound of that.
I like these questions, Jo. They're fun. They're like
a bit random, aren't they?
Considering like our last podcast was like super serious topic, it's really nice to have a lighthearted one.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Okay. So should we go on to another question then? Okay. So, have you ever worn the same underwear 2 days running?
Does that include giving them a quick sink wash in between?
That's not really the same because that's cleaning them a bit.
Then no.
Oh, well,
I don't think I have.
No, I'm pretty like vigilant with underwear changing.
Like if there's anything I'm going to be hot on and on it with,
underwear.
it's underwear. I think that's my brain now. Like, was there a festival moment? Like, if I go away, I pack double the amount of underwear to the amount of days I'm going.
Absolutely. And new underwear when I go away.
Oh, I like that. That's a good idea. Nice chance to like treat yourself.
Yeah,
because it already comes in the packaging folded up as well nicely, so it goes into your case or your bag really.
I like that. I might borrow
that. Okay, so do you care more about the way you look or the way you feel? I think I know what you're both going to say here.
the way I feel.
Yeah, the way I feel, totally.
Yeah, they're kind of interlinked as well, aren't they? I think as well. So if you know that you feeling a bit down, it can be nice to make a bit of effort more in how you look, and definitely feed into each other.
I think
so if you feel good as well, you tend to sort of look better.
Yeah. And I've found that for me, how I perceive myself as beautiful, I see more beauty in me when I feel good within myself, and I'm projecting that feeling sort of from the inside out. And I feel like my skin seems to glow more. I seem to have more vibrancy. So I could look exactly the same on the outside, but the energy coming out seems to have more of just more power to it. And I notice people respond to that, and men respond to that. So yeah, like it's beauty for me comes from that inner feeling. And it doesn't matter if you've got greasy hair and you're wearing a bag. Like if you're feeling inwardly good and vibrant, it comes out of your pores really.
Yeah, I agree with that, because there have been times where I've had like greasy hair, greasy face, like spotty face, wearing my brother's old clothes. I walk down the shops to get something and I'll get loads of attention from men, and I'm like, when I make an effort, you don't do this. So,
I know why that might be as well. Another reason. Like, there's a side note for so apparently it's a thing with men where when they look at a woman, they look at the attainability.
Okay.
And so when you're really dressed up and sort of at the top of your game looks wise, there might be a perception from a man that you look less attainable to them. Whereas when you dress down, they kind of look and go, oh, she looks more attainable for me, based on where their self-worth is. And so you just then look available to more men, or attainable to more men.
Okay. So anyone who's single, wear your brother's old clothes. Go out.
Yeah, you want to cool dress down.
What about you, Joe? Like, you said feeling better as well, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I definitely care about how I feel more than how I look. I mean, I have had times when I've, really let myself go, and I've stayed sort of in the house for several days in sort of bedclothes, which I have changed kind of thing daily, but I just haven't been motivated. So I do think it is important to put in some effort, because I do think it lifts your mood. But yeah, for me, it's definitely more about feeling rather than looking good. Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement, aren't we?
Okay. So another slightly daft one, your worst dressed person. Is there somebody who you always think, or somebody you saw in an outfit and just thought, oh, they look so daft? I mean, for me, it's like the era, sort of like the 90s, when we got MC Hammer with those massive trousers. I hated that look. I know hate's a very strong word, but I didn't like that look. The really massive trousers and the shell suit sort of era.
I don't blame you for hating that.
You're thinking,
At the moment, there's like not 3/4 length. They're kind of in between, like 3/4 length and full length trousers that are in. I really hate those. Like, I really hate them.
The person looks like they've outgrown them.
Everyone's wearing them, and I'm like, no, I'm not going for that. It just looks like everyone's trousers are too short.
That's so
I agree. I don't like that very much.
A friend of mine, I'll sort of demonstrating how, because I've lost weight, like how big my jeans are on me. And they're kind of baggy now. They weren't ever baggy to start with, and they're not boot cut, but like they kind of go straight down, straight cut. And she was like, why don't you just roll them up and then make them like look like they're meant to be like that? And I was like,
are so in at the moment. And
yeah, and I feel like such a twonk. Is that a word? That's a really offensive word, and I don't know. I feel like an idiot because, you know, that wouldn't be to my style if I have such a thing. But yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm with Joe on the 80s thing, because I first came into like social awareness, cultural awareness in the 80s and late 80s, and the neon shoulder pads, just generally the vibe of that. And I think actually a lot of fashion now is similar to a lot of the 80s fashion. But yeah, I really wasn't a fan of, like, actually, you know, I really just don't like power suits and that kind of look.
Me neither.
Yeah, or like hyacinth bouquet type floral long dresses.
What? I got you some for your birthday.
Well, that's sort of like part of my dilemma at the moment, Hazel, because I used to feel the same, but the last few dresses I've bought have been floral, and I'm quite mortified when I've realised afterwards that something has definitely shifted. I can remember sort of when I was about 18, my mum bought me a dress to go to a wedding, and it was sort of a very pale yellow with flowers on, and I absolutely loathed it. And then there was a sale on at Jack Vert recently, and I've only gone and bought a yellow dress with flowers on it, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm turning into my mom.
You know what, it's not about, how do I put it, so for me, like, each floral fabric is different.
Yeah.
Like, I like ones where it's like tiny details,
Cool.
but big ones with big, like, I don't know, because we used to have, basically, I had a relative who used to wear them, and it looked just like the wallpaper that they picked in the house, and it just wasn't flattering, and it just didn't work. But I think I have nothing against floral generally, but it's just getting the right fit for your body and your look. But yeah, it is what it is. Like, you've got to find, when you find the right dress, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so favourite fragrance? Have you got a favourite smell or
a lot.
body spray? Oh,
I do like Diamonds. I think it's by Dior, but I'm not sure. And I like Pure Poison, which I think is by Dior. Diamonds might be by someone else. But I got loads of perfumes. But those are the two that jumped in mind. Oh, and Angel and Demons. I like that one as well. I can't remember. I think that's Da Vinci or someone who does it. So,
Yeah, I don't get the point of perfume.
Because it smells so nice. I love it.
I don't understand it. I mean, my girly gene didn't really get switched on, so I don't like jewelry either. I don't get it. Why would you want to smell different? Like, because you got your own natural pheromones. Like, and I've never been attracted to a smell particularly. I use body sprays sometimes, so I guess I do that. But I've never been introduced to it in a way that sort of excited me.
I love the different smells, and I love a guy who smells like the male perfumes. I'm just like, remember the old Lynx adverts where a guy would spray Lynx and then all the girls would kind of turn around and follow him? That is the kind of effect that really nice men's perfume has on me.
I get you on the men smelling nice thing. I totally get that, because it's kind of like intoxicating.
I like to smell nice myself anyway. I'd be like, that smells so good.
maybe I need an introduction from someone experienced. When I'm on the boats, it's normally on the boats because I used to live in Dover, or near Dover, so going on the ferries was quite common for me. And there's always that part on the duty free where it's full of perfume, and I just wouldn't have a clue. But then saying that, I love aromatherapy stuff. I've got body oil that smells of frangipani, I think. Is that the right way of saying it? I'm not sure if it's like, it's quite floral, but and I love that sort of thing. So yeah, I feel like this is a whole world of wonder that maybe I should be like playing with.
What about you, Joe? Do you have a
When I was younger, I didn't particularly like Hazel. I wasn't that interested in it. I used to find some of the smells quite overpowering. It sort of reminded me of very rich women and a bit overdone. But I did used to buy, Boots used to do a natural collection, and they used to have like a rose musk, and I used to use that daily. And then I liked the Body Shop. They did a vanilla one, which I used to love, which is just a little bottle of essence. But people used to say, oh, you smell like custard or you smell like Play-Doh, but I loved it. But just lately, the last few years, I've got into sort of like my holiday treat at the airport is buying a little perfume. So I like Decadence by Marc Jacobs, Daisy by Marc Jacobs. So I have started to get into them a bit more. Oh, and I had Champagne, Yves Saint Laurent Champagne. I think they changed the name of it, but I like that one. So I do like them, but I'm sort of on the subtle side. But if I had to choose between perfume and aromatherapy, I would choose aromatherapy. So that's sort of really nice.
Yeah, I've got one of Anya's grounding oils here,
Yeah.
and that like smells so good, so good. So it's an oil
Yeah.
that you rub in. For anyone that doesn't know, I don't know what's in it, but it has like holistic health benefits whilst also smelling nice.
Real. Okay, so next question then. Would you rather wear comfortable pajamas or glamorous lingerie?
No, probably pajamas. Comfortable pajamas.
Yeah, pajamas, but it does depend on who I'm with.
The context, maybe.
Yeah. The pajamas, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally think I'm really sexy in my Avengers pajamas or my SpongeBob SquarePants pajamas.
I get it. I think my panda ones are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice to be comfortable and warm, isn't it? Okay, next question. So, man with a beard or a man without a beard?
Without.
Beard.
Without for me as well.
Oh my god, so beards for me is like my blind spot or Achilles heel.
Oh,
really?
It's, yeah, if a man has a beard, he is like 100 times better looking to me than without.
wow.
Pretty much doesn't matter what man, it's just the beard. And if you add a beanie as well, I'm just like completely like I have no control.
And you're just trying to get Hazel, that's the way.
But yeah, beards, like, yeah.
I always think they're a bit maybe unhygienic, and that puts me off.
I don't know, I'm of the opinion that no body hair is unhygienic. So, you know, it is what it is. I think if you, I've lived with a beard. That's also weird. I think there's definite maintenance that you need to do, like a man needs to do if he has a beard, to make sure it doesn't have food in it, and whatnot, like you know, like finding your cornflakes at lunchtime in your beard, like that's really not a good thing. But yeah, I like it so masculine.
Yeah, I do.
Split opinion there.
What about you, Joe? You're like,
no, I don't like them. I like the men, but without the beard. Yeah. Okay, so did you ever deviate from your school uniform? Like do something which the teachers sort of gave you detention for, or you got into trouble for because you were sort of bending the rules on school uniform?
Well, I never got in trouble, but I went to a girls' school and every girl would, majority of girls would just roll up their skirt to make it short, and then the teacher would come and tell you off and you roll it back down, and then she walks away and you roll it back up. And we weren't allowed to walk home in our sports clothes. We had to be wearing our proper uniform. But,
yeah, very formal.
Yeah, they weren't particularly flattering, but that's it, yeah.
I think I had the same as you, Ceza. I went to a girls' school and I would roll my skirt up from the waistband, roll it up shorter. I never got in trouble because I was a good girl. But I also wore eyeliner. I don't think we were supposed to wear makeup, but I wore eyeliner from like the age of 13 or something, like every day. So it wasn't like lots of makeup, but it was like there was a point where girls shifted, where suddenly they're shaving their legs. They've got like their eyes have become darker where they've got mascara or eyeliner, and it was just a subtle, which actually wasn't subtle, but it was subtler than what full-blown makeup is, and it's just that evolution. It's like young girl to kind
pushing the boundary very slightly.
You're like young girl to bitch girl, because suddenly you're hard because you've got your eyeliner on.
Oh, I do remember that one time in Spain, when we went on holiday, I got my hair braided. You know, this colourful like.
Oh yeah, yes.
And like string or whatever. And I had it like I always had my hair tied up so it was covered, because we weren't allowed them in school. One time I had my hair down and the deputy head saw, and she gave me she told me off in front of everyone, told me to get rid of it or just cut my hair off. And then I got rid of it. But I should have told her.
That's a bit extreme.
Yeah, she was a bit extreme.
Strict.
She was nice, but she was a bit she was a bit crazy.
I went through a phase of not brushing my hair. I had waist length hair and I wanted it to become dreadlocks.
Wow.
I didn't try. I had like down the very back in the middle at the back, it was like just starting to get matted, but I wasn't actually attempting to make it into dreadlocks. I just wanted it to I wanted it to look really rough and tumbly and a bit like Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam, how his hair looked in their first video. Like really this big long wild mane, yeah, wasn't a good look.
Have you ever been told off, Joe, for uniform?
Well, I got told off when I was 15 a couple of times, really petty things though. One was on Red Nose Day, which was a non-uniform day anyway, and some of us got the mascara out and we were putting mascara in our hair, and we got told that it was Red Nose Day, not mascara in your hair day, and we were talking to about that. And then another time I did get called into the head of year's office for wearing trainers with my uniform, but I was wearing trainers because the hospital had told me to not wear shoes, but I think they thought I was trying it on, but I really wasn't. So yeah, nothing really exciting, just those two for me. Okay, so what shall I ask you next? Okay, have you ever had an impulse buy where you've bought something that you thought was wonderful and then it's just stayed in your wardrobe and you've never worn it?
I do have a dress that I got, which was like open back, even had like frills here, which isn't really my usual style, but I never wore it because I thought I was too fat for it. It's still in my wardrobe. It's been there like, what, 6 years? 7? No, it's been there 5 years. So that's probably, there's other things. That's the only thing that comes to mind.
For me, it's probably footwear. So I go and buy these heeled shoes or boots, and I think I can walk in them in the shop, and then I get them home and I'm like, shit, I cannot walk in these. Like I could get out to the car, but if I need to kind of walk from the car to somewhere, I couldn't drive in them actually. So I've got multiple pairs of shoes like that. And maybe they've had one wear somewhere on carpet and that's it. Maybe. But yeah, I've got some pink shoes actually that I actually really like, and I really like what I buy actually. So it's not a bad choice. It's just not sensible. I've got these pink ones that I bought as a backup for the award show that I haven't got anything in my wardrobe that would actually go with them. So they're sat in a box like crying to me going, find an outfit, wear me. And I need to find the occasion to wear them out. But yeah, so shoes are the thing that I waste money on. What about you, Jane?
I usually do buy things that I wear, but I've got a few things that I've only worn a few times, and then things that I wear sort of every week really. I've got to get into the habit of wearing the same things, sort of like they go through the wash and then I'm wearing them again rather than hanging them up, so I'll do that. So the same things get worn out, and then I've got a few things which haven't been worn very much. But I did buy, for some reason, a yellow and green check shirt. It was in the sale from Marks and Spencer's, and I never wore it, and I don't like it. I don't even know why I bought it really. I think I just thought, oh, that was cheap. I just don't know. That was just a really odd purchase that I can't explain. I never thought I was going to wear it.
I guess we have those moments of madness in the shop.
Because it was cheap, I guess. I thought, oh, that's a bargain. Maybe it was a time when I didn't have much money or something. I just thought, oh, that'll be all right. It's because it's a shirt, like a blouse type thing.
Yeah, so I don't know about you, but I find clothes shopping a little bit excruciating.
Mm.
It's a lot of time to find something that fits and looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of time outlay and energy outlay, and it's like walking around, and then if you buy something you have to carry it whilst you're still walking around. And I don't know, I really wish I had a personal shopper who knew what colours and shapes would work for me and could do it. So I find that I used to, more than now I'm really fussy, but I used to, because I've always been a bit of a tomboy, never really had a strong female role model to teach me how to dress properly, so I've been always a bit stressed when I go out. And so I would find that I would buy whatever ended up fitting rather than looking good.
It's
and
a dilemma.
And I'd be left, like, because I used to have jobs where I used to have to dress smart casual. I mean, what the fuck does that mean?
Yes, one or the other.
Like, it makes no sense. So for me, the idea of smart casual was tight fitting because it then curved to my body. So I had no clue, no style, no sense of style, and I possibly still don't. So yeah, for me, shopping can be a really tough one to kind of get it right. And I've improved now. So I have a rule now that if I have any doubt whatsoever about an item, it goes back. That's it. Because if I have any tiny hesitation, I probably won't wear it.
Mm-hmm. Good plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you prefer to wear a one-piece swimsuit or a bikini, and big knickers or small knickers?
Small knickers, bikini.
Swimsuit and probably bigger knickers.
Yeah, medium-sized knickers.
Yeah, like medium-sized. Like, I don't know, I've never got into the whole tiny knicker thing. This is really oversharing now. Maybe that's another area to explore. Never say never. But for me, comfort is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And also, like, my body's like a different size on the top to the bottom. Maybe a lot of women have this. I'm pear-shaped, so a bikini has always looked a little bit odd on me. But I've lost a lot of weight, so I'd probably be the most inclined I've ever been to explore wearing a bikini this year.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I would never say never, but I like the ones that are a little bit more like 20s, is it 1920s kind of style, or 30s style, that a little bit kind of, they cover a bit more, but
fuller, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so man with a bun or man with a bald head?
Oh dear God, that's a hard question.
I really like a man with hair. But I don't really like buns unless it's like Thor. Chris Hemsworth as Thor when he has long hair.
Oh, I'm now fanning myself.
I don't know. What would you guys pick?
My husband's bald, so I have to say bald. But I do like men with hair, and I quite like men with longer hair, but not necessarily a bun.
See, the thing is, if a man has longer hair, then he's got the choice between a ponytail or a bun. And in a way, what's the difference? You know, like, you scrape it back and you tie it. Like, it's like I don't know, like the bun thing, it depends on the man. I think it depends on the man. Like, I don't mind, like, if it's like completely shaved and really short, if I like the man. Yeah, like the first two guys I dated, one had really long dreadlocks and the other one had no hair. So, like, I don't think I have a particular taste, but I like alternative more than straight-laced, if that makes sense.
That does.
Yeah, but the bun thing isn't necessarily attractive.
Okay, shall we move on? So, have you ever bought something you saw look good on someone else? So, have you sort of emulated somebody else's style, or bought an item because somebody else gave you the idea to buy it?
Well, when I was at uni, I used to work in June, the shoe store.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes there were shoes that I would be like, oh, I don't like them. But then someone puts it on and they're walking around and you're like, actually, that looks really good. And then I would go and buy them. A lot of my money went just back into buying all the shoes.
Yeah, how many pairs did you have, Ceza?
70 at one point.
It's hilarious.
I am down to like 40.
40?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, down to 40. That's crazy.
I'm not really into clothes or like handbags or anything, but I do like my shoes. But I haven't bought heels in a long time.
You don't need to. I don't think you need to. Like, just getting the opportunity to wear all the ones you've got.
Yeah, I don't really get that much opportunity anymore. I could
Turn them around the house. Do the cleaning in your heels.
Yeah. I mean, I teach Pilates with no shoes on anyway. I could turn up in heels and I'll be like, guys, I'm just going to take these off.
When you teach full exercise, so heels would kind of maybe add a bit of pizzazz.
No. I'm going to stick to trainers for that. So I don't want to twist my ankle, break it. I don't know if I can do jumps in heels.
Well, you think about when people are dancing, they're wearing heels. I mean, they're pretty sensible heels, but they're wearing heels.
I mean, I've jumped when I've been dancing in heels on a night out, but I gotta look halfway decent in a class when I'm teaching it.
I don't recall emulating anybody, but then again, nowadays, if I'm trying to get some inspiration for what to look for when I go shopping, I don't get what current fashions are, and I don't get what's going on with clothes. It's like all these like weird shapes and sizes that don't seem to compute in my head about what clothes should look like. So sometimes I'll go on Pinterest and I'll just Google a few words. Like I Googled grunge. Grunge, I can't remember the second keyword I used. And the grunge style from 2 years ago is completely different to the grunge style now. And so I did sort of a Pinterest board just on those. And I was like, oh, okay. So I could emulate that, which is like quite cool tights with shorts and like plaid shirts on top, or high waist short skirts with like little tops that kind of just come to the top of the skirt. And I don't really have any of those clothes, but I was looking at them and I'm like, in my head, that could work with this, definitely with the shorts. So I'll probably emulate Pinterest more than a particular person.
Oh. I bought a jacket that I saw on Emma Taylor. I don't know if you've seen Emma Taylor from EAM, her rainbow jacket. It's like the amazing Technicolor dream coat. I got one of those. I did tell her, I did ask if she minded or not if I bought it before I did. And I got mine in the sale and she paid full price for hers. But she was okay with that. But I've only worn it once so far because it is just so bright. I look like a Quality Street walking around. It's like different sequins, like a rainbow, but I absolutely love it. And it's on on one of the chairs in the dining room, and when the sun comes through the window, there's like rainbows in the whole of the room. Such
fantastic. That sounds like so wonderful to have something that's so vibrant that when you wear it, you're like, yeah, look at me. I look so like bizarre.
Yeah, it is very loud, very blingy, a blingy coat.
Love it.
Right, okay, so let's see. Shall I ask you next? Right, so we talked a little bit about other people's style. Is there anybody whose style you really admire, who you think is really well dressed?
Not really.
I think this shows how we're both very unstyle conscious. Like when we're looking at someone, I don't necessarily think about their clothes.
It could be quite superficial, couldn't it? So, I mean, this is a bit of fun this afternoon.
So,
not really.
I've got a friend who we were chatting about how she always buys things that are like white or beige. Her house is decorated in white or beige and her clothes are all white or beige. And maybe it's because she's like tall and really slim as well, but everything she wears looks good. So the idea of that kind of almost monochrome, like you keep a very set palette and with the neutrals as well. And I mean, that kind of looks stylish to me. I don't manage to achieve that because everything I wear is like either bright colours or dark colours. But I quite like that kind of sense of containing your style to a certain rules.
I just like whatever. If I see someone who's wearing something and I think, oh, that looks nice, then I'll notice it, but there isn't any one person that I would think of when it comes to
How about you, Jo? Anybody that comes to mind for you?
I don't particularly follow anybody in thinking, wow, they look amazing all of the time. But what I do sometimes is I have a look at some of the news readers and go on their Instagram, because sometimes they put where they get their outfits from, and I sometimes check those out. Quite often they're power dressing ones, those are a bit too much, but occasionally I'll see something I really like and think, well, that could be more sort of me, a bit more everyday. And Fern Cotton, Fern Cotton, she did a range for Kath Kidston, and I like that. And I don't know if you'll like it because it's quite floral, but I quite like that at the moment. I haven't bought anything.
I think retro floral is probably better than the old 80s floral that I was thinking of. I think it's a bit better.
Okay, so you're both EAM mentors and you use the sway. Do you use the sway to plan what you're going to wear?
No, I don't think I've ever used
So for anybody listening, so EAM is the energy alignment method, which is an energy life-changing transformational technique for shifting your mindset and your feelings and your baggage and your crap. And the sway is one of the key parts of it, where you use your body to answer yes or no questions that go straight to your subconscious. And you can use it on anything, like, is this food in my highest and best good to eat? Will I feel most comfortable wearing this thing today? Like, you can pose the question and your body can answer. So I do some, maybe I do more than I think, because I use like my intuition, my instincts to pick what I'm going to wear. So I kind of subconsciously ask, and then it's like the thing I first veer towards tends to be the thing, but I check in. So if I then suddenly doubt myself, I will check in, and don't necessarily sway, but I do get an inner knowing of which thing it is.
Perfect.
How about you, Jo?
Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, so I'm quite lackadaisical about it. It depends if I really sort of going out somewhere, I guess, and what sort of event it is. However, when I was part of EAM, I know like one part of the branding is purple and gold. So I can remember, because I got quite a lot of purple in my wardrobe at the time, about going to an event and swaying what should I wear, and I'd got a purple jumper, which I absolutely love, and a purple skirt, and I thought that would be a great outfit to wear, and I swayed, and my sway said no. And then when I arrived, I noticed Helen Jane was wearing practically what I would have worn. So so that sort of amazed me, really. And I think she might have looked better in her purple jumper and skirt than I did. I think she's a bit more toned than I am. So it was a good decision to wear. I can't remember what I wore instead, but I remember thinking, oh, I'm glad I didn't, because we would have looked like the same, but she would have looked so much better than me. And
So I had the same thing with a dress I tried on. It was a floral dress, actually. It was a brown floral dress with these big prints, and I liked the shape of it. It's like had like a tulip skirt and kind of sleeves that came over your shoulders a bit more, and really out of character for me, but I'm always open to evolving what I wear. And I tried it on and I was like, it fits well, it looks good, should I buy it? And just I don't know if I was swaying or not. I was definitely had that kind of vibe going on, and I was like, something in me was like, no, and I was like, but it fits and it looks good, and I've got an event, this EAM event this weekend. So it's like, no. So I didn't buy it. I was at the event on the very first morning, and in walks Kat wearing the dress. I was like, okay, it looks amazing on her. Like, that's so meant to be for her, like that dress. It wasn't really for me, but I loved the dress. So yeah, trust the instinct.
Sway is powerful. Right, okay. So have you ever lied about how much you spent on an item of clothing when somebody's asked you?
Yeah, probably. Most likely when I bought stuff, my mum was like, how much was that? And I lied.
Yeah, I've done the same when I bought some Dr. Martens last year.
But they're not cheap.
No, because it's one of the Dr. Martens shopping Camden, and there was no sale item. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, like, I'd rather invest more in jeans and in shoes, in footwear, than most other clothing items. But it wasn't an expense I was planning on a couple of weeks before Christmas, when I hadn't done my Christmas shopping or anything yet. Yeah, so I didn't quite tell the whole truth. I didn't lie, I just didn't disclose.
Yeah.
How about you, Jo?
I'm sure I have. I can't remember a specific time, but I think I would have taken a few pounds off items when I was maybe 16, 17, 18, 19. But I can't remember any specific item that I lied about. So it was probably only if it wasn't a major. I didn't blow hundreds and not disclose it or anything like that.
Cool. Shall we have one more question?
Okay, so okay. Favorite outfit?
Pardon?
Your favourite outfit to wear?
Oh,
That's a toughie.
well, it depends where I'm going or what I'm doing.
Yeah, totally agree.
I don't know. I don't know if I have a favourite.
I think I have a sense of it. Like, mine would probably be skinny jeans, boots, my DM boots, a t-shirt or a vest top, and possibly my Harry Potter jumper.
I wasn't expecting that.
Like, I rather dress, I feel most me when I'm dressed casually and comfortably. Like, dressing up isn't my thing, although I've got like some really lovely, really sparkly, sexy dresses from black tie events. I actually really like it when I'm dressed down. I feel most like me.
Awesome. For me, I had a dress that I absolutely loved from a shop in Birmingham called Shared Earth, which was sort of a very ecological, environmentally friendly shop, and I had an orange dress from there, and it got red stars on it, and I absolutely loved it. I think it was actually designed by somebody in prison, and I've never been able to find something similar since, but I absolutely love that dress because it's quite unusual to wear orange, and I just really loved it. But yeah, it's very difficult to identify one outfit or one piece of clothing. There's just so many that I love.
Yeah, same.
Oh, isn't it? Like, clothes of days gone by. Like, I had this Pearl Jam t-shirt that I bought at a festival, or a sort of a gig they put on in Holland, and the design on it was red, and it was like a purpley kind of design that looked like trees and brambles, and there was this little sleeping fox, I think, underneath this tree thing, and it's just so beautifully done. You never know, maybe because I've lost weight it might fit me now, but it's been in storage for years because I got too small. It got too small, I got too big. So, like, items like that I like.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I have just one. I can't think of anything.
You like everything you choose.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, most of it.
Well, this has been so much fun, Jo. Just like girlying it up and like just exploring the topic of clothes in such a fun way and style, and maybe like some of our lack of style. And you know what? That's okay, right? It's okay to be
yeah, it's
presenting
just
however you
Friday
want.
afternoon sort of very light chat, isn't it? So I've loved chatting to you both. It's been fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking me.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming with questions. It's been really helpful. Like, it's the first podcast we've had of this nature. I kind of like it. A quick fire, like, let's explore like a topic in a different way. I hope listeners and viewers on the YouTube channel that you have got some ideas from this for how you can maybe be more playful with what you wear and how you present yourself, and maybe a few ideas for things you can go and explore maybe.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I think that's us. Is there anything you want to finish with, Ceza?
No.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share or add?
Can't think of anything. Just it's been great fun. Thank you. And I think I'll remember this sort of when I look in the wardrobe over the next few days. I'll be thinking about little things that you've said, and so it's nice to have a bit of nostalgia as well, isn't it? Looking back at how things were and yeah, reminiscing. So thank you. I've loved it.
Well, thank you guys. So our next podcast, we have no clue what the topic will be, as ever. It might have a guest, we might not have a guest, we'll see how it goes. So I would say subscribe to whatever platform you're watching this in or listening to this in, so you find out whatever exciting topic it will be. And yeah, thank you for listening and watching, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you, Jo. Thank you, Ceza. Bye for now.
Bye.